Have you ever encountered ghosts, spirits, aliens, or some other beings? If so, or if not, stay tuned because we're going to be talking about today on the podcast. What are your thoughts on this topic, Maya?
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. For one, people don't think it's a real thing. They don't think it's
Yeah.
something that's a possibility until it happens. And then they're left like, you know what I'm saying? Did I just hear that? Did I just see that? Yeah, that's a real thing. It's a real thing. I believe that we are visited by those beautiful beings, or some not so beautiful. You know, every day. We just don't we don't have we're not it happens below our level of awareness, level of conscious awareness. It happens below it, so we have no idea. When we feel this breeze that just passes us by, or we feel a presence but we can't see it, we hear something squeak or creak, make creaking sounds, and we just like, wait a minute, I know I'm the only one in the house, hold on, wait a minute. There's nothing else here that could be moving like that. Okay, sound like footsteps. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that a lot of people experience those beings and don't really know what to do. So today, I would like to offer up a few tips on how you can handle those beings,
Mm.
whatever form they're in. So that's what I'd like to do today. Hmm.
Okay. Looking forward to that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. I've definitely had a lot of experiences from that I can recall from when I was a young child
Mm.
of
Hmm.
interacting, having direct interaction
Uh-huh.
with ghosts, spirits, angels, demons, all types of stuff.
Hmm.
And it's more common than you think. I've definitely had conversations with people where they just don't know how to articulate what was happening,
Hmm.
but they've had some sort of experience that either freaked them out or they didn't know what it was.
Hmm.
So for those, if you feel like you've never come across it, sometimes it can show up as, like to your point, right? You think of a relative that passed away, and
Hmm.
then all of a sudden, a feather lands in front of you. Little
Hmm.
synchronicities like that. So there,
Hmm.
you have like if there's like a range in how it can show up. You have those like gentle nudges, and then you have like being dragged.
Be like, oh, did that just fall off the shelf? What's over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember my first time ever encountering a spirit. It was my high school boyfriend, and unfortunately, he was murdered. And I remember smelling his cologne. And I was like, "Come in the room, Stacy. Come on in the room." And I said, "I know you out there. I smell you, nigga. I smell you." I'm just like, "I smell you. Come on in the room." And I just kept sitting there, and nothing happened. But it smelled like the scent got closer to me, or was like it was louder, like he had come in the room. And I was like, "Are you standing there just spraying the cologne? Just acting goofy?" Because I'm thinking he out there playing with me, right? And so I go and open the door and nobody's there. And I'm like, "What in the world?" And then I hear like a whisper, "You'll always be my girl." And I said, "What is going on here?" A couple hours later, I got a phone call and they let me know of his passing. And I was like, "When did this happen?" And it was like it was almost to the minute from the incident to the time I experienced it. That was my first conscious encounter of a being not in physical form. And then since then, nigga, it's just been, oh, Jesus, it just be happening. Okay. It just happens. And, it it is imperative. Sometimes you get messages. Sometimes they come to give you messages. Sometimes they come to give you messages of encouragement, warning, to console you. It's not always a bad thing, but you can tell. Once you get out of your fear of what is this, or your deep inquisition of what is this, and just sit and just allow yourself to be present in that moment, you will be able to feel if it's a lower vibration or a higher vibration. Either way, you have the ability to command it to go away. You have that ability to command it to go away. And when I learned that, I just stopped really being scared. Sometimes I'm startled
Mhm.
still because my mind is completely somewhere else, and it's like, "Hey, I need to talk to you. Hey,
Right.
hey." When I used to do oracle readings, in the middle of an oracle reading, I would have somebody's ancestor come just like stand on my side or be in my face, and I can see their face, or they may say something, whisper something in my ear that only the other person would know. And I would just say it, and the person sometimes will fall out crying. And I'm like, listen, and I'm not a medium by any sense of that word. However, I have the capability, which we all do. But it seemed like when I opened myself up to dive in or delve into what we call the spirit realm,
Mhm.
um, uh, everything can come through.
Oh yeah,
But
it
watch
happens
this.
all the time.
Yeah.
All the time it
Uh-huh.
happens.
Ouch.
And and yeah, it's one of those things where there comes a point, I think, depending on where you're at in your journey and the type of work that you're doing, for the type of
Mhm.
work that I do with tarot
Mhm.
readings, with spiritual work, oh yeah,
Mhm.
that's a part of the process. That's a part
Mhm.
of the work.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's I feel like that can be a whole other conversation about what that's like if you are, a healer or working with well, in a lot of ways, you are always working with those energies
Mhm.
consciously or unconsciously. And so when you
Mhm.
become more in tune with yourself and your
Mhm.
spirit, um, then you become more aware of what of these other these energies. You can sense energy, see energy. There's so many different ways that you can experience it. From my experience, when it comes to connecting or crossing paths with those that have quote unquote walked this earth before,
Mhm. Mhm.
and those that we know that have transitioned versus spirits or beings from other realms,
Y-
and other just yeah other realms, other planets, other galaxies. I've come across that.
Mhm.
And what we call aliens, which I feel like that's
Mhm.
not really the I feel like we're more of the aliens than than the ones that
Mhm.
we come across.
Mhm.
We're
Absolutely.
really aliens.
Like, that's not even proper terminology. It's just, something that we always got to try to put something on something. It just be the
Mhm.
funniest thing in the world.
I know it. I know. And so,
Always trying to put
uh,
something on something.
yeah, and I think it's really ignorant to think that we are the only ones
Absolutely.
here. It's like
Absolutely.
we are like literally a dot, a
We
speck.
just like a listen, if we want to get into it, get into it. We are like we little peons to them. We think we are
Mhm.
superior. We have such a thought process about ourselves. It's just totally ridiculous. When you look at the grand scheme of things.
Mhm.
When you
We're
look at
very
the grand scheme,
self-absorbed,
oh, we are
self-absorbed
so self-absorbed, baby. We
species.
think we are the ish, honey. We and I mean, we have the essence of the creative source, but we are not the creative source. And then we and because we have the essence of the creative source, we have the ability to feel these other beings and can be able to cipher whether or not they can bring you some harm or come to bring you some help. um, but we just think we're all that in a bag of chips, honey, and we ain't shit when it comes to these other beings. Like this realm, we are confined to the time space continuum. We have so many limits on what it is we're actually able to do in this physical realm. And we are just so like, I can do this, I can
But
do
part of it is
that.
we allow ourselves to be limited because like if we
Mm-hmm.
were making more of a conscious effort to elevate ourselves and but also to recognize.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we get caught up in the religion and the spirituality and in race, in sexuality. Like we get caught up in all this other like human stuff, worldly shit. But if we move beyond that and recognize that, okay, we have this physical form, but there is an infinite aspect that resides in us, and when we
Mm-hmm.
tap into that, then that's when we can start to access our full potential. But we can't even get there because we're just caught up in all this riffraff, like we stay
Yeah.
in that,
Yeah.
and we're not consciously trying like on a collective effort. There's definitely people that are doing that, taking making a collective effort to elevate ourselves and tap into our fullest potential. Like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a sacred lost art that a lot of people aren't aware of. I mean, we all have the capability, um, but it must be honed. We all have the capability, but we must learn. We must be in a position to be able to learn. And then once you are, you know, once you are led or guided to that space, it doesn't even give you like you're not even like I remember when I used to be put it like this. I remember when I used to be like excited about getting visits, It's like woo, oh
gone are the days when it was everything was all exciting. Now we just be like,
girl.
what you want now? Well, who are you?
Okay. It's like, no, but just don't even come visit me because I understand now. I mean, uh-uh, no thanks. You know, I guess we don't well, like you said earlier, operating in one's fullest potential consciously, to be able to break through the limits. However, we are limited in this third dimensional realm. We are limited to a lot of things because we are confined within this third dimensional realm. But once we do elevate ourselves in a conscious way and not conscious the way it's been thrown around out there now. But if we elevate ourselves in a conscious way, then we will break through that barrier that is within our physical being, and we will be able to actually communicate effectively with other beings. And it's not the way we think. Our communication with other beings is not of this world, which means is not of these words.
Hmm.
It's all symbolic. It's not of these words. It's all symbolisms, and you have to be able to cipher the type of the meaning of the symbolism. And there are specific ways that can be done, but that's neither here nor there. But you when you encounter these beings, these aliens, these and you really feel you can, because you can be, it can come in at below your level of awareness, and they, them, whatever they are, right, have they have the ability to bring you into a conscious space so that you can see them, you can hear them, you can recognize them. A lot of times the mouths won't be moving.
Hmm.
The mouths will not be moving. So
It's all like
it's all,
frequency.
yeah. And so when
Frequency.
you get into that space, when if you're ever visited by one, and I know we've covered a lot here, and not in depth with a lot of, because this is a vast subject matter. This is a vast subject. We can go in this for a good little minute. Um,
Yeah, if y'all want us to dive deeper into these type of topics, let us know for sure.
Yeah, because we can go real, real deep on this one. We're just scratching the surface and giving you some surface level information about some of the things you can do, or what some of our experiences when you encounter these extraterrestrials, or ancestors, you know what I'm saying, or demons, okay, or angelic beings, whatever you want to call it. Just know that we recognize that it's a real thing. And if you out there walking and you are out there lost, and if you encountered something like this, just know that you're not alone. Just know it's a real thing, and it's more than just you that have encountered these things. You can reach out to either myself or Ujo to gain some further clarity on what you can do to help you through that particular process, especially if you have something that is repeatedly showing itself to you, because sometimes that'll happen too. Have
And
something that's
stop ignoring the signs. Some of y'all just be out here just ignoring stuff, and you afraid that somebody is going to take you, or that something bad's going to happen. And sometimes it's just like you just need to calm down and stop
hmm
avoiding shit.
Just come on down. Just listen for a few seconds. Listen for a pair of seconds. See what you going. If you listen hard enough or you listen quiet enough, then you can hear, and it'll be loud.
Mhm.
It can be a beautiful thing, it can be a scary thing, but it can also be a dangerous thing. So you must be in tuned with yourself to be able to know which it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
What are some steps? You mentioned there were some things that you wanted to share.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry, I got off track. Yeah. So some of the things that you can do to recognize um, when you have these encounters, um, or if it is an encounter by something outside of you, there is a real prominent feeling that you get that is like right there. And a lot of times you feel it in your gut, and then your heart starts to increase in rhythm. And it's not like a something that's a major, like a fast, but you can tell the difference. You are aware that there's a difference, and you know that what it is that you felt or heard causes that to be so. So pay attention to the way you're feeling. You know, when you think that you're encountering something else, because if you pay attention to the way you feel, you will get confirmation. Because at that point, they say, I have his or her attention. Let me give him something else to let's see if they really can hear or see me. I know they can feel me, but let's just see if they can see or hear me. Definitely, if some fly off the shelf, you there, something there with you. Definitely. Okay. Some just fall off the table from the center of the table. You ain't nobody. You know something there with you. Okay. And when you recognize and identify that, what you can do is you can simply say, reveal yourself in a way that I will comprehend, or don't contact me anymore. If you want to if you want to encourage communication, that is a way to do it. If you want to cease communication, that too is a way to do it. But just be prepared. That's just a little small something you can be prepared for. First, pay attention to how you feel, and then once you get a hold to what you feel, then ask the question make it plain and clear for me, for my level of understanding, my level of understanding. How can I help you? How can I be of service? Or listen, I feel you here. I don't come back no more. Because it's not of a it's a horrible feeling that you feel in your gut, and your heart is racing even faster. You know, when it's a most of the times when it's a bad feeling or a low vibrational entity, when you feel it in your gut, your heart just starts to like beat out of your chest.
I start to feel really heavy
Mm.
when I'm around, like
Mhm.
when there's like low vibrating. I feel like
Mhm.
it definitely feels like this sense of like this damp weight.
Mm.
That makes sense.
Mhm. Yes. Oh, and it just laid there like a wet blanket.
Yep.
Yeah, when you said this damn way, that's all I saw was a wet blanket.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, y'all. So I know that we have talked a little bit about various things within this particular subject matter. However, as my beautiful co-host Ujos has said and stated, if you'd like us to delve deeper into a particular part of this topic, please leave a comment in the below in the video section. Please leave a comment. You can also let us know via email. Get on our by getting on our VIP list. You can let us know on any of the platforms the types of subjects that you are interested in hearing that for us to delve deeper in. It's been really, really real. I have enjoyed this subject matter. It's been kind of brief, but it's been good either way. It's been good either way. So Ujo, I'm gonna let you take us out, baby.
Yes. I want everyone to just think about if you've had any of these experiences or like what your thoughts are on this topic, but think about your own personal experience or maybe those that other people that you know have experienced and has this changed your perspective at all? Just something to be mindful of. I think one of the first ways, if you're interested in having more encounters, then one of the first steps I would think is with your ancestors. That's like a first step to connect. And it's a beautiful practice, a beautiful way to build a relationship. And so just a takeaway, if you're seeking to have a starting point. Other than that, we'll see you on the next
Mhm.
one.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Spirit is a reset podcast. Yeah.